equals to an E. It means whether the oil droplet contains 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron, you know now. It means it does not contain 1.5 electrons. If electrons are attached here, it may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be 4, but not 2.5, 1.5. Clear? Then, by the means of this charge plate, we are able to calculate the charge on this oil droplet. And we observe then the charge on this oil droplet is integral multiple of a definite value. What we observe? We observe that the charge on this oil droplet is the integral multiple of a definite value, and that definite value, what we conclude, it is electronic charge. What we conclude from this experiment? Let us see the first one. The mist is produced in the chamber by the help of atomizer and which pass through teeny hole in upper plate. The next one. By observing the rate of fall of oil droplet, we are able fall of oil droplet. He is able to calculate the mass of oil droplet. The next one. By the help of X-ray, we ionize the gas in the chamber. By ionizing the gas in the chamber, these electrons are attached with this oil droplet. And what we observe? By observing various oil droplets and the amount of charge required to decelerate, accelerate, or to stop them. Not on only one oil droplet. We are going to observe various oil droplets. And what we observe? We observe the amount of charge required to accelerate, decelerate that oil droplet. We are able to calculate that the charge on this oil droplet is integral multiple of a certain value. By the help of ionized gas in the chamber, we produces, by the help of X-ray, we ionize the gas in the chamber, which attached with the oil droplet, which is charged. By the help of X-ray, we ionize the gas in the chamber. Which attached with the oil droplet, due to which the oil droplet gets charged. The next one, by the use of by the use of electrical field, we can accelerate, decelerate, or stop the motion of charged oil droplet, and by careful measurement he come to conclude that the charge on various oil droplets is the integral multiple of a definite value. That is, Q is equal to the charge on various oil droplets. Q is equals to ME, where n equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 1.5, 2.5, 4.5. This is how he is able to calculate the charge on electron, that is 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. What we have? The charge on electron. With the help of this Mulliken oil droplet experiment, he come to conclude that the charge on an electron is 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. What we calculate? We have E equals to 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. And from and we have the value of E by M ratio, ME ratio, which is observed by J.J. Thomson. It means what we have, E by ME is equals to 1.758820 into 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kg. What we have? We have the ratio of charge to mass of electron, which is calculated by J.J. Thomson in the previous experiment. And R.M. Mulliken, he observed the charge on electron. What he observed? He observed by the use of retarding or stopping the movement of that oil droplet by the use of electrical field, he come to conclude that the charge on various oil droplets is integral multiple of a definite value. And by doing so, he is able to calculate what is that definite value which is going to multiply to give the various charge on that oil droplet. That was 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. It means what we have? We have the charge on the electron. What we have? We have the charge on electron E, that is 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb by ME equals to 1.758820 into 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kg. We want to know the mass of electron. We will just it here and get it here. What we have? ME is here is equals to 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19. This goes here, this goes here. 1.758820 into 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kg. What this one coulomb to coulomb cancel. This equation goes upward. What we have 1 by divided. We have 9.1094 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. It means the mass of electron is equals to 9.1094 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. The charge on electron is equals to 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19. This is how, by the use of J.J. Thomson experiment and R.A. Mulliken oil drop experiment, we are able to know the charge of electron together with the mass of electron. Now we will discuss the discovery of protons. But in the previous sections, we have already discussed the discovery of electron, in which we have a cathode ray tube, in which we have fitted 2 electrodes. In that cathode ray discharge tube, we have maintained low pressure, and when high voltage electrical current is passed through it, then a streams of particles are moving from cathode towards anode. It means, in that case, the streams of particles are moving from cathode towards anode. That was termed as cathode rays. And by the use of electrical and magnetic field, we observe that these particles contain or have negative charge. But to the next, we have the discharge ray tube. Here. And we maintain the same condition. We have the electrodes that is attached with high potential. We have here vacuum pump, which is used to reduce the pressure, as I have discussed. On application of high potential, what is happening? If this one is cathode and if this one is anode. In that time, we were observing the cathode ray. Now we will discuss the anode ray. Then what we observe? The gas in this chamber ionizes, and what we see, the streams of particles are moving from the positive plate anode towards the negative plate cathode. This anode, it is positive, therefore these rays are emerging from anode plate. This are therefore it is termed as anode rays. By carefully implementing the electrical and magnetic field, we observe behavior of this cathode ray is like positively charged particle. The same experiment here, but here we are observing the anode rays. At that time we are observing the cathode rays, but these two rays produce at the same time simultaneously. But the difference is that we are observing and we are studying this one by one. What happens on application of high potential? Let us discuss. Here what we have gaseous atom. Let us assume a gaseous atom in both experiments. This one is gaseous atom here. Suppose if we have the hydrogen, in that case what will happen? We have, in case of hydrogen, it contains one electron and it has its nucleus which contains one proton, due to which, let us see, on application of higher potential, we know this electron is attached with this nucleus by a force of attraction, because electron is negatively charged and proton is positively charged. It means they have a strong force of attraction. In order to break this force of attraction, what should we should have? We should have a high potential. By this high potential, we made this anode more and more positive, and we made this cathode more and more negative. By making this cathode negative, and by making this anode more positive, why this is so? Because we know the force of attraction between the proton and electron in an atom is too much. That's why we have to apply more and more potential difference to create the charges, so that this positive will attract the electron and this negative will pull the proton at the same time. We know in previous experiment the cathode ray was moving, and the cathode ray consists of electrons. Cathode ray consists of electron. This electron. And this time, when these electrons are ejected, this get positively charged, and this positively charged ion, this one is positively charged ion. This positively charged ion is attracted by this what? Cathode plate. From where they are moving? They are moving from, this one is anode, and they are moving towards cathode. Since they originate from anode and they move towards cathode, therefore they are positively charged ion. They constitute anode rays. This is how we are able to know that the atom is constituted of electron and proton. To the next, we will see that if instead of hydrogen, it means when on application of electrical magnetic field and by various ways, if we calculate the charge here, what we got, the charge is the charge on electron is 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. But here, if we calculate the charge, it contains only one proton. Hydrogen nucleus contains only one proton. Then it has plus, this one is minus 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. But instead of hydrogen, if we take another gases, let us see. If we have the next one, helium, then the helium nucleus contains 2 protons, and it contains what? It contains 2 electrons. By doing so, on application of higher voltage, we create more and more positive, and this one is more and more negative. By doing so, what is happening? These electrons are attracted. By application of higher forces, these electrons are attracted towards positive plate. Whereas, what? This one, if one electron is ejected, if 2 electrons is ejected, then in that case, what we see, this cathode ray, it constitutes of electron, electron, electron and electron. If we get the charge, if we determine the charge, then we will get the charge same, that is 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. But when these 2 electrons are ejected, then this will get 2p. It means it has 2 positive charge. Then in this case, what we observe that the charge on this gas is cation. What we observe? The charge on this gaseous cation is 2 into charge of proton. It means 2 into 1.6022 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. What we see in this case, when we change the gas, on changing the gas in the discharge tube, what we observe that the charge on the gaseous cation or the charge on the anode ray particle changes, which is an integral multiple of a definite charge. It means the nature of anode rays depends upon the gas which is filled in the container. First one. The next, the charge on the anode ray particles is integral multiple of a definite charge. We see here. These are the observations which we observe. The next one, what we know, the behavior of this anode rays is opposite to that of cathode ray on application of electrical and magnetic field. Let us know what are the observation or the conclusion which we made from this experiment. We will discuss the discovery of protons. First one, by carrying out experiment in discharge cathode ray tube or stream of particles were moving from anode towards cathode is termed as anode rays. Is termed as anode rays. The characteristic of anode rays are listed below. What we know, we have previously discussed that the nature of the anode rays depends upon the nature of the gas. While on changing the gas from hydrogen to helium, what we observe, the mass and the charge changes. In case of hydrogen, the gaseous cation has 1 plus charge because it contains 1 proton and 1 electron is removed from that. It contains plus 1 charge and having a mass of 1 proton. Whereas on replacing hydrogen with helium, what